Loyalty is a quiet oath we take with our souls, long before we take it with our mouths. It is the invisible thread running through our choices when nobody is watching, the soft vow that says, "I will not abandon what I love just because it is difficult." In the language of the Zodiac, loyalty is expressed in 12 dialects. Some signs guard loyalty like a gate of stone. Others water it like a garden, and others carry it like a flame through storm and darkness. We ask a simple question: which zodiac signs uphold true loyalty? And find a complicated human answer. Loyalty is not a trophy. A sign is born with. It is a discipline a heart practices. There are nights when devotion aches like a muscle we forgot to stretch. Nights when your chest tightens because someone you trusted misread your silence or failed to choose you when it was easiest to choose you. On those nights, you might blame your sign or theirs. But the stars whisper, look deeper. Loyalty is not merely staying, it is staying awake, staying honest, staying kind, staying bound to your own values while you hold the hand of another who is learning. It is the practice of tending a bridge rather than burning it. If this journey speaks to the part of you that wants to love more bravely and be loved more securely, subscribe to Signs and Secrets so you never miss the messages that help you grow with the seasons of your soul. Your presence here is part of this vow we make to learn, heal, and keep choosing love with wisdom. Taurus builds loyalty like a house that never stops smelling like warm bread. Reliability is their prayer. They arrive, they return, they repair. If a Taurus has chosen you, their care is made of calendars and patience, of repeated "I'm here," of a slow-cooked constancy. Yet even Taurus has a condition. The foundation must be respected. If you chip away at trust with little lies and unkept promises, the bull goes quiet, and silence is how Earth guards itself. Cancer loves with roots. Their loyalty is a tide that keeps coming home, even after storms toss everything against the shore. They remember your favorite tea and the exact way your voice broke when you told them your childhood secret. The moon teaches Cancer that loyalty is cyclical. It is not the same shape every night, but it is faithful in its returns. Betray a Cancer, and you don't always lose their compassion, but you may lose the right to be close to the hearth. Scorpio's loyalty is forged in fire and secrecy. They will stand at the door of your crisis and say, "Tell me everything," then guard what you say like a vault. For Scorpio, loyalty is intimacy under oath, a pact made in the underworld of truth. But do not confuse their fierce devotion with a tolerance for betrayal. If the trust is stabbed, Scorpio does not simply leave. They transform. Sometimes that means leaving the version of the relationship that hurt them and beginning again only with themselves. Virgo's loyalty is a service, daily and sincere. It's the detail in the note on the fridge, the reminder set so you don't forget your meds, the small bravery of advocating for you when you're too tired to advocate for yourself. Virgo believes in care as a verb. When they fuss, it is their way of saying, "I want to preserve what we have," but they require reciprocity, not in equal tasks, but in equal sincerity. Capricorn is loyalty as legacy. If they promise, it is engraved. They know love is not a mood, but a stewardship. They take responsibility for the bridge that connects you, checking its beams when the wind rises, reinforcing it when the world gets heavy. Their devotion ripens with time. They honor history and invest in tomorrow. Disrespect the lineage you are creating with them. And a Capricorn will not create a spectacle. They will quietly withdraw their signature from the covenant. Pisces holds loyalty like a sacred song. It is tender, boundary-blurring, intuitively forgiving. They can love you at your most unlovable and insist you are still capable of gentle miracles. But Pisces must learn that loyalty to others cannot come at the cost of loyalty to their own spirit. When they finally understand this, their devotion becomes holy. They stand with you without abandoning themselves. Leo's loyalty is a bright banner. When Leo loves, they shine upon you and defend your name as if it were their own. They bring a royal generosity that says, "I want you to be seen and celebrated." For Leo, loyalty is protection through presence. They will not vanish when the crowd goes quiet. Wound their pride repeatedly, though, and you will discover that a loyal heart still knows how to guard its kingdom. Aries shows loyalty through action. They run toward your crisis, not away from it. They will fight for you before they fully understand the battlefield, because their fire answers to courage more quickly than to caution. Aries must learn that sustained devotion requires breath and pacing. When they do, their loyalty becomes a steady flame rather than a series of heroic sprints. Libra's loyalty is the art of keeping the scales true. They are loyal to love and to justice, to the shared story, as well as your personal chapter. They will compromise without compromising their soul when they are healthy. But if a Libra bends too far to keep the peace, ask them what loyalty to self might look like. When Libra stands in their center, they become a sanctuary where both hearts can be heard. Aquarius is loyal to truth and to friendship as a spiritual practice. Their devotion is often wide, communal, principle-driven. Yet when they choose you intimately, they bring a rare constancy of mind. They will fight for your right to be fully yourself. Aquarius teaches that loyalty is not possession. It is honoring freedom without abandoning connection. Gemini's loyalty is curious. They will learn you, ask about you, archive your moods like constellations. When aligned, Gemini remains faithful to the conversation of the relationship, to learning, adapting, and staying mentally and emotionally present. Their devotion travels in words and ideas, but when matured, it anchors in actions that match the promise. Sagittarius keeps loyalty by keeping faith. They are loyal to the horizon you're walking toward together. Give them honesty and room to grow, and they will keep returning with stories, laughter, and perspective. Restrict their spirit or demand masks, and they will disappear, not because they do not care, but because loyalty must walk in the daylight of truth. We are tempted to rank these expressions of loyalty, to create a list that says, these are the most faithful signs. But wisdom answers differently. Loyalty is a virtue, and virtues grow where they are watered. A disoriented Taurus can become stubborn rather than steadfast. An unhealed Scorpio can become possessive rather than protective. A frightened Pisces can confuse sacrifice with devotion. The question is not only which sign you are, but which promises you feed with your daily attention. Some signs strengthen loyalty through ritual. Earth signs make calendars into devotional items. Dinner every Friday, check-in every Sunday, a promise to keep the house swept of resentment. Water signs protect loyalty by naming feelings before they become tidal waves. Fire signs keep the oxygen of adventure flowing so devotion doesn't become a prison. Air signs keep dialogue alive so assumptions do not colonize the heart. Each element knows a way to keep vows breathing. Loyalty demands boundaries the way a garden demands fences. If you have learned to equate devotion with self-forgetting, your loyalty will leak into the ground until you are left parched. If you have learned to equate freedom with avoidance, your loyalty will evaporate under the first hint of heat. True loyalty is a middle way. It is fierce and flexible, forgiving and discerning. It says, I will remain with you and with myself. At this point in the journey, if your heart is receiving these insights, pause and tap the like button. It helps the message reach someone who needs to hear it tonight as much as you do. Your simple gesture becomes part of the medicine we share. Join as a member to support the channel and unlock exclusive content. There is a tenderness in acknowledging the signs that often carry heavy expectations around loyalty. Cancer is told to be the eternal caregiver, the one who forgives everything. But real loyalty is not enabling. It is loving with truth and holding the door open for accountability. Capricorn is told to endure everything for the sake of reputation. But loyalty that swallows pain without a voice will eventually calcify into distance. Scorpio is told to guard love at all costs. But sometimes the most loyal act is letting go of the form that no longer honors the truth you discovered together. We also need to honor the signs whose loyalty is often misunderstood. Gemini is accused of being fickle, Yet tell me, who else will keep showing up to the hard conversations, turning the problem in the light until a solution appears? Sagittarius is accused of being non-committal, yet look again. Who wraps promises in vision and keeps them alive with laughter when life feels grey? Aquarius is accused of detachment, but there they are, defending your right to be different while building community where differences can breathe. Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn show us that loyalty requires practical architecture, money conversations, routines, care for the body of the relationship, the actual logistics that keep love from falling through the cracks. Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces show us that loyalty requires spiritual depth, naming fear, tending grief, and forgiving with discernment. Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius show us that loyalty requires intellectual honesty, staying curious, course-correcting with new data, and refusing to cling to a narrative that no longer serves. Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius show us that loyalty requires courage, choosing, re-choosing, and acting in alignment with what you profess to value. There will be seasons when loyalty hurts because growth hurts. It hurts to tell the truth. It hurts to be told the truth. It hurts to admit we were wrong. And yet this pain is not a sign that the vow is broken. Sometimes it is the sign that the vow is working, burning away what cannot belong in the next chapter. Imagine your heart as a temple. Ask, which sign's way of loyalty helps me keep my temple clean, warm, and open? Then practice that way as if your life depended on it, because your healed life does. Before we go further, take a breath and speak to us in the comments like you would to a trusted friend. Share your date of birth and your zodiac sign and tell us one way loyalty has either saved a relationship in your life or revealed the truth you needed to see. Your story might be the mirror someone else needs. Let us walk through the rooms of loyalty, sign by sign, and speak gently to the shadows we find there. Because loyalty is not perfection. It is a conversation between our light and our learning. Aries, your devotion ignites in emergencies. You are loyal when it's time to fight for what matters. But your lesson is to remain when the fire becomes a slow ember. Loyalty needs maintenance, not just heroics. Create rituals that feel like quests, weekly walks to share truth, micro-adventures that keep curiosity alive. Your courage becomes a long, burning lamp when you feed it with attention, not just adrenaline. Taurus, your loyalty is a garden with seasons. You plant, water, and wait even when the world rushes. But your lesson is to prune. Loyalty that will not let go of what has already died becomes a burden. Practice the brave art of releasing expectations that no longer fit the relationship you actually have. Then your steady love becomes a sanctuary instead of a museum. Gemini, your loyalty speaks in questions that keep relationships awake. You listen for nuance you love to understand. Your lesson is to translate curiosity into consistent care. Let your calendar join your conversation. Send the message after the insight. Hold the hand after the breakthrough. When your mind and body both commit, your devotion becomes a bridge of living words. Cancer, your loyalty is a tide that cleans wounds with salt and tenderness. Your lesson is to name your needs while you nurture others. Tell the people you love how to love you back. Build containers for your empathy so it doesn't spill into exhaustion. When you do, your devotion becomes not a sponge, but a well, deep, replenished, generous. Leo, your loyalty crowns those you love with recognition. You defend their dignity as fiercely as your own. Your lesson is to listen when pride is hurt, to separate wounded honor from wounded love. Choose repair over performance. Then your devotion shines not only in sunlight, but in the quiet rooms where humility keeps the flame steady. Virgo, your loyalty is craftsmanship. You stitch ruptures, you design systems for tenderness. Your lesson is to trust that your worth is not measured by how perfectly you hold everything together. Let others serve you too. When you release the burden of being the only responsible one, your loyalty becomes a shared language of care rather than a silent contract of exhaustion. Libra, your loyalty creates harmony without erasing difference. Your lesson is to embrace conflict as a pathway to deeper truth. Being fair does not mean being silent. Speak your desire clearly. When you do, your devotion stops negotiating with your own needs and becomes a sanctuary where two whole beings can meet. Scorpio, your loyalty is an oath at the bottom of the well. You do not scare easily, and you do not abandon lightly. Your lesson is to let love breathe without trying to possess what you fear losing. Hold secrets, not cages. When you alchemize fear into devotion without demand, your loyalty becomes sacred space rather than sacred control. Sagittarius, your loyalty keeps faith with the road. You remind love to widen, to laugh, to celebrate the horizon together. Your lesson is to stay present for the daily work of closeness. Adventure is also learning to marvel at the ordinary. When you anchor your wanderlust inside intentional commitment, your loyalty becomes the warm fire you return to after the journey. Capricorn, your loyalty endures weather. You build legacies, not weekends. Your lesson is to let tenderness be part of your architecture, not an afterthought. Schedules can hold softness. Goals can include joy. When you allow gentleness to sit beside responsibility, your devotion becomes a home everyone can exhale in, including you. Aquarius, your loyalty to authenticity and community is medicine. You defend the right to be different. Your lesson is to let intimacy be as revolutionary as ideals. Remove the armor of abstraction in the presence of those you trust. Let your heart be specific. When principle kisses presence, your loyalty becomes a friendship that changes lives. Pisces, your loyalty dissolves defenses and baptizes shame in compassion. Your lesson is to sit on the shore of yourself with the same devotion you offer others. Say no when the ocean is tired. Say yes when your spirit rises. When you honor your limits, your loyalty becomes not martyrdom but miracle, love that heals without losing itself. There are times loyalty will ask you to stay, to weather, to kneel and forgive, to rebuild. There are times loyalty will ask you to leave the house that refuses to stop leaking, to love from afar, to protect the sacredness of your own life. The stars do not command obedience to pain. True loyalty is never complicity with harm. It is a devotion to truth, growth, and the dignity of all hearts involved. Now we answer the original question in the most honest way. Which zodiac signs uphold true loyalty? The signs that have learned to be loyal to their own souls first. Because when you are faithful to your values, your boundaries, and your healing, you will be faithful to others not out of fear, but out of freedom. Taurus, Cancer, Scorpio, Virgo, Capricorn, Pisces. Yes, we often see them embody devotion in obvious ways. Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, yes, we see them fight for love and keep its fire bright. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, yes, we see them stay in the dialogue and honor the air that relationships breathe. But the truest answer is this: any sign, when awakened, can love like a vow that does not break under weather. If this message has found you during a season of rupture, may it become a compass. Ask yourself, where have I kept promises to others by breaking promises to myself? Where have I protected my comfort at the expense of our growth? Where have I abandoned the bridge before I tried to repair it? Then ask the stars to mentor you in the way of your element. If you are earth, build the ritual. If water, name the emotion. If fire, choose the brave act. If air, tell the truth and listen for its echo. Imagine writing your loyalty like a letter to the future. I choose to love you with presence, not performance. I choose to protect your dignity, not your denial. I choose to return after conflict with a soft face and open hands. I choose to tell the truth, even when my voice shakes. I choose to remain when remaining serves life, and to release when releasing serves life. This is loyalty as a living practice. The sign you were born under hands you tools. The soul you are becoming decides how you will use them. If something in you softened or straightened while listening, press like now, so this teaching travels farther than this moment and touches another heart in need. And if you are new here or have been listening in silence for a while, Subscribe to Signs and Secrets so we can keep walking together through the seasons your chart will carry you through. Your growth is not a solitary pilgrimage. This is a circle and you belong tonight. When the house goes quiet, whisper a vow to yourself, I will keep choosing the kind of loyalty that makes me more honest, more brave and more tender. Then think of the ones you love. Send them silent blessings. Remember that love that is both loyal and free is love that heals. Join as a member to support the channel and unlock exclusive content. Before you go, tell us your date of birth and your zodiac sign in the comments, and share one promise you are making to yourself this season. Speak it into the circle so the universe can echo it back with opportunities to keep it. Thank you for the courage it takes to keep your heart awake. If this helped you, please like this video and subscribe for more messages that meet you where you are and guide you toward where you are meant to be. If you want to hear everything the universe has to say to you, watch these other videos on our channel.